The Dyatlov Pass Incident landed in the snow. It was February 1959 when 9 Soviet hikers set out on a challenging expedition across the Ural Mountains, led by Igor Dyatlov, an experienced 23-year-old engineering student. The group was composed of skilled trekkers, young adventurers and unafraid of the brutal Russian winter. Their goal was to reach Mountain Otorten, a name that ironically means "don't go there" in the indigenous Mansi language. They never returned. Weeks passed with no word. The families grew anxious. Rescue teams were deployed to search for the missing hikers. On February 26th, rescuers discovered their campsite on the slopes of a mountain known as Kolad Siakal Mansi for Dead Mountain. What they found has haunted investigators for decades. The hikers' tent had been slashed open from the inside. It was half collapsed and partially buried in the snow. All their belongings, including shoes and heavy winter gear, were still inside. Footprints led away from the tent, barefoot or in socks, into the forest. The trail faded into the trees, swallowed by the snow. The first two bodies, Yuri Doroshenko and Georgy Krivonchiko, were found under a cedar tree nearly a mile from the tent. They were nearly naked, their hands burned and their skin tinted an unnatural shade of purple. Nearby were signs that they had climbed the tree, perhaps in a desperate attempt to see something or to escape something. Between the tent and the tree, 3 more bodies were found: Dyatlov, Zina Kolb, Mogorova and Rustin Slobodin. They had died in strange poses, as if crawling back to camp. Slobodin had a fractured skull, but not fatal. They had no shoes, no coats. It was as if they had run from something so terrifying. They chose freezing to death over staying put. 2 months later, 4 more bodies were found in a ravine deeper in the woods. These bodies told a darker story. Lyudmila Dubinina was missing her tongue, eyes, part of her lips, and had fractured lip ribs. Semyon Zotarev also had crushed ribs and missing eyes. Nikolai Thebots Brignell had a massive skull fracture, something akin to a car crash impact, but strangely there were no external wounds, as if the injuries had been delivered by immense pressure or force. None of their injuries made sense. The force needed to shatter ribs and skulls without breaking. The skin is beyond human capability. The Soviet authorities quickly wrapped up the case. Their official statement: a compelling natural force was to blame. But what did that even mean? The case was classified and detailed, suppressed for years. This secrecy only fueled speculation. Some pointed to a military accident, Soviet parachute mines, secret weapons testing. Others blamed infrasound, low quality frequency vibrations caused by wind that can induce panic and hallucinations. And then there were those who believed something else entirely, something not human. Many locals believed the hikers had angered the spirits of the mountain. The Mansi people spoke of curses, strange lights in the sky, and indeed some reports claimed that orange orbs were seen above the mountains. On the night the group died, radioactivity was found on some of the victims' clothing, raising even more questions. Photographs recovered from the hikers' cameras only deepened the mystery. Smiling faces, snowy landscapes, and then one final image, dark, blurry, and terrifying. It shows a figure in the woods, humanoid but shadowy. Was it a person, a creature, a hallucination, or something else entirely? The last journal entry from the group was strangely titled "From now on, we know that snowmen exist." Was it a joke or a warning? For decades, the Dyatlov Pass Incident has been the subject of books, documentaries, and horror films. Scientists continue to propose new theories, from slab avalanches to hypothermia, included madness. In 2021, Russian investigators concluded that an avalanche had forced the hikers to flee, but critics argued that this didn't explain the internal injuries, the missing tongue, or the way the bodies were found. Why would 9 experienced hikers in the dead of night tear through their own tent and flee into sub-zero temperatures, be barefoot? Why didn't they return to the tent even after the initial danger had passed? What crushed their bodies without leaving a trace on the outside? The truth remains buried beneath the snow and shadows of the Ural Mountains, the place where the wind howls like the voices of the dead, where the night hides secrets too dark to uncover. Some say the spirits of those hikers still wander the pass. Some claims to hear voices in the cold wind, and others say the mountain members. So if you ever find yourself a desolate slope in the dead of winter and you feel a chill down your spine, on that has nothing to do with the cold turn back, because on Kolat Siakal some footsteps never melt.